now give the man the power to control the woman. And great, you support her financially. She doesn't have to work, but you have her locked in the house, cooking, cleaning, doing everything.
Who says that's the situation 100% of the time?
But
that's not always.
You see the proof of the.
And what if she's comfortable in being a housewife too?
Exactly. These
women.
Or what if she has no choice though?
These women back home are raised that way.
All right.
She holding and holding and holding warm till she. You get a horn. She leave you the wagon. She leave out the big van man. She tell me I the one.
What up?
Welcome to the Would You Rather Pod. I'm your co-host Jace. We got my main man, the leading A-lister, the one and only Mr. JR.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
We got Cash Money laying in the back.
Hello, everyone.
And we got the infamous Dubai Prince live in person, just flew in from Dubai. Uncle Sammy.
What's up?
Yep.
Folks, we're not here to play dice. We're here to ignite fires and have a good time with our unofficial sponsor, Mr. Crown Royal. JR, tell them what we're drinking.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're sipping on Crown Royal's newest and finest. Whether you're relaxing with friends, kicking back, watching a game, or maybe going through hard times and just need a drink, sip on some Crown Royal Vanilla.
Vanilla. All right. You like to give credit due. This is Johnny J with the Hoarder Man.
Yep.
Spiking high. Hope I ain't talking too much. But yeah.
What's going on, everyone? How's everybody doing?
How's everyone doing on this beautiful morning?
Good.
Beautiful day. Sun is shining. Oh, yeah.
Shout outs to Shensia.
As always. Just because?
Why not? Well, what we got to talk about today? I think today's going to be a good one.
I think so.
Really good.
Feel the energy.
You feel it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn. All right. So what's going on with this guy from the Raptors?
Well,
Raptors ain't doing crap, but at least they're in the news.
Yeah. Not for the right reason.
No, I know. It's already bad enough that the season's gone to shits. But Jontay Porter, the Toronto Raptors, who's obviously a role bench player, he was accused of betting on himself. Literally.
Fred VanVleet.
Not the Fred VanVleet way.
He took that to a whole new meaning. But allegedly, he was placing bets on himself. And from there, I'm not sure what app or what platform he was using, but basically everything was tracked. And he was, for his bets, I believe, I think he's betting with the over or under? Under. Yeah. And
taking himself out the game with injuries twice when there was abnormal amount of betting on himself.
Yep.
Well, on him, which is a role player, so it's not LeBron James. You're expecting a lot of money on over-under on LeBron, but not a Jontay Porter. So both of those games, he took himself out with injuries, allegedly injuries, right? Eye injury or whatever. And obviously both games hit the under. And, that's why it flagged.
Which is...
Is he like lacking in money or anything like that?
Yeah.
He is?
Well...
He has like a famous brother, like his brother's doing really well.
Championship brother too, but his contract is $400K for the year, which is
come on.
But
he's lacking for money.
But
that's an addiction.
But hey, you know what? If I could make a few bets, get a few, couple K here and there, boost me up 750, maybe $1 million.
What do you think about that, Cash? Because so the Raptor, if you heard, he bet on himself to actually not score, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been kind of going into games not trying. And he put like $50 bets to say he wouldn't score.
More than $50.
Sorry, 50,000.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm saying. Is he starving for money? Like, why would he do that? It's so bad for the team. And like,
it's really bad. Unless he's actually receiving money elsewhere that's bigger than what he actually, the one that he actually gets when he scores.
Well, that's why he's betting on himself is to get that additional money. So, I mean, if you're purposely not making the shots you're supposed to make or whatever it may be to win your bets, I mean, that's ridiculous.
You guys think it's probably revenge?
Or what, though?
Somebody in the team. Maybe
He hates the team?
in general.
You know what? I never thought about that, but it's possible.
But you know what? It's actually very stupid on his part because you're guaranteed, let's say, the $400,000 contract. Yeah. But now it puts in the integrity of the game. They can ban you from playing altogether.
Yeah.
And if you're banned, your guarantee money is gone. Your contract is gone.
Yeah.
So now that little bet that you're thinking you're making is going to actually cost you a lot more in the end. So you won't be able to play in the NBA at all because they're probably going to ban you if they find out that it really happened. And then, and all the stuff, them perks that come with playing in the NBA is going to be gone.
Yeah.
So it's crazy for him to even think about that. And absolutely, the integrity of sports, if people think sports is rigged, they're going to lose viewership. So they are going to come down hard if they catch him. They probably will catch him.
Oh, yeah.
This guy does, there's so many people trying to get on an NBA roster spot, and this guy's wasting time.
Yep.
He shouldn't even be allowed to touch a basketball anymore after this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe there's something behind whatever he's doing. He's just not doing it because
gambling addiction.
I'm thinking it's revenge of something, or maybe somebody's betting on him doing something in with bigger funds. I don't know. Just saying, but you're not just finding this in just basketball, but I feel like certain sports you also find the same thing where teams are losing because they're getting a bigger bag elsewhere than what they actually signed up for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let's take it off of Mr. Porter for a second, and I think there is someone who is a huge athlete, which is Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
So again, I want to take it back to Porter for a second before I jump to Ohtani. We don't know if it was him physically placing the bets or if he was having a friend or a family member do it, and then, okay, you transfer me the money after. We don't know if the money was going into his account or a friend or family's. And
I doubt it was his because it's too easy to catch it.
Right. Yeah. But then again, it's not, we don't know, right? And you think he'd be smarter to do smarter than that, but as we talk about gambling or professional athletes gambling on professional sports or themselves, look at Mr. Shohei Ohtani, who's baseball's biggest star. He just signed a 10-year, $700 million deal, which, by the way, his contract is really interesting how he deferred.
Yeah.
And basically he's making $2 million per year and then deferred the rest. So when he leaves the state of California, if he does end up getting traded or signs elsewhere, his back end of the contract is
smart.
Very, very smart. But anyways, his interpreter was accused of betting and now has a $4.5 million debt.
Yeah.
So the big controversy is we don't know if it was his interpreter, which is his childhood friend. He's known for a long time. We don't know if it was actually him placing the bets on Ohtani's behalf. So there's a big controversy. MLB's investigating, which I think this is baseball's, this is their true big star. So I think they'll kind of sweep everything under the rug to protect him. But again, I think we're moving forward. We're going to see more of this. We're going to hear more of it, because there's so many apps and platforms out there to bet, and people think there's a way to get around it, but ultimately everything's, all the records are kept, everything's recorded. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens forward.
Yeah, I find it interesting. It's so easy to gamble on games. Fans are gambling on games.
Yeah.
Like even athletes are talking about like when you're at games, fans are yelling, "I need you to score 5 more points."
Yeah.
Hit that 3.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So, the one thing though I know sports leagues are gonna crack down
Yeah.
on is athletes betting. So
Yeah.
they probably should not do it because they
Yeah.
will void those contracts and ban you
Mhm.
from the league. So hopefully this teaches them, Jontay Porter and allegedly Shohei
Yeah.
Ohtani. It would be massive if Ohtani's
Yeah.
gambling.
I know.
Do you think they should use, like, they're probably using the popular apps? Use like those
Yeah.
crappy cheap apps. Maybe they're not tracked. Like at least like.
So it was
if you're gonna do
DraftKings.
it,
Yeah.
DraftKings like
yeah.
it
Don't
trigger.
use DraftKings. Don't use
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
FanDuel. Don't use like
Yeah.
those popular. Use
Use
like
the
the
smaller ones.
the small ones,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like the one.
But
one
that
that
might
has
draw attention too because they're not used to getting so much, like a $25,000 bet.
But maybe
on
Yeah.
they don't have the
Jontay Porter.
technology to report it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh god, you guys are stupid.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But well, look at Pete Rose, right? He
He's
got a
sitting there
lifetime
like,
ban.
hey.
And yeah,
If Pete Rose get a lifetime ban, at least
Yeah.
he was betting on himself.
Self,
True.
He
yeah,
was
Yeah.
actually betting on
Yeah.
himself.
to
Okay?
win,
To
like
win,
do
yeah.
well. You know
So
what
it
I mean?
actually like motivated
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
So these guys are idiots. They should be banned.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even the MLB ban.
Yeah.
That guy should be banned. I don't care if he's like your poster child. I don't care
Yeah.
if he's a little LeBron version of it.
Yeah.
If you bet on yourself, get the hell out of here.
And Pete
True.
Rose is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So he, you know, if you're gonna do that to Pete Rose, who was betting on himself
Yeah.
to like do well, then you gotta
I know.
do the same for
Hmm.
everybody. So if he's caught, we gotta ban Ohtani too.
Yeah.
No exceptions.
No exceptions.
None whatsoever. With that being said, if you're betting out there, gamble responsibly. If you're a professional athlete, don't be betting on yourself.
Don't
That's
be
it.
betting at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till you're retired.
Yeah.
All right. Let's so I want to bring over, I got this Cash Money, you sent this over to me. So let me play this.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of curious what it is. Let's hear.
On the first page. I always say if you're over the age of 25, you should not be dating for fun anymore. You should be dating for funds. And that means only dating guys that have money, that can do something for you, and that will benefit your life and your lifestyle. Okay? Don't be dating for fun no more. Start dating for funds. And what that means is if he can't help you, if he can't contribute to you, if he can't give you money to invest, start a business with, save, buy clothes, shop, or just pay some bills and make your life better, then you're wasting your time with him. Okay? Because why are you there? You're old enough to know better. We're old enough to know better than to just be with some random who ain't giving no money. Okay? You should be old enough to know better by 25 to stop dealing with randoms with no money. Okay.
Games with no money.
And I hope y'all ain't dealing with dusties after that age, okay? Because if you are,
I can't listen to more of this
Oh boy.
this adjustable 6.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kevin Samuels, we miss you, man. Where are you? We need you right now. But basically, this girl,
Mm-hmm.
if I understand correctly, date for funds, not for fun. If you're over 25.
Wow.
Wow.
I have a lot to say on her.
Yep.
Let's get into it, man. What you got to say?
Well, for me, I just think, you know, women want to be independent women.
Okay.
Guys want independent women. So all the progress that's made for women to be independent, she just set it back years by just putting out that statement.
Yep.
You know, it's like a contradiction.
By the way, in the video, positive comments, everyone giving her props. Most women, over 22K likes.
Wow. It's crazy to me because it's such a big contradiction from what you're saying. So you want to be independent women. You want to, you know, do everything on your own. And then now in the same breath, you're saying that you want a man that's going to fund you.
Yeah.
So don't you lose your independent when a man funds you? Because now he's going to feel that he has more control over you because now you're doing things that he may not like. So if you want this money, you got to follow his rules. So I don't know why you tell women under 20, over 25 to start looking for funds instead of fun. I think we look for solid foundation of a relationship and then communication, so that way you're not looking for funds, because a man who feels a certain way for a woman will fund you, but for the right reasons, and you're gonna understand why he's doing it, and he's gonna respect you as someone who's independent. You're able to make your own money and things like that. But it's the wrong mentality, because if a man funds you, eventually you're not gonna be 25 or whatever. He's gonna move on to somebody else who's younger, better looking, and then it's just a cycle. So you're gonna be stuck by yourself after, because you were looking for everything and for the wrong reason. So that girl is crazy in my mind. But how do y'all feel about it?
One quick comment. Someone who looks like her shouldn't be saying 1 inch of what she said. Damn. Cash, you said that over to me. So, like, what's up with that? Is that like the new world today? Jeez.
From
everyone's looking out for their own.
I get what how you guys took it, but I took it on. I actually have a lot of things.
All right.
Not a lot, but
bring
a
it
few.
On, bring it on.
Bring it on.
And maybe it will probably
We're 3 guys,
be
right?
offensive, right? But I think what she's trying to say is, because in this generation, a lot of guys focus on partying, not being very established, or they have the bare minimum. And so what she's trying to say is, after 25, it's important that you have someone that's established enough to basically, I mean, like the way how she said it, it didn't really come out as, it basically sounds as if you should date somebody that with a lot of money. But I feel like how I understood it is that you date somebody after 25 that is established. That's how I look at it. Right? Not somebody that, that's stuck in one place and just doesn't want to climb the ladder. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay.
I can see that.
But on the flip side now, I, as a man who's established, would turn it around and say, what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah.
Right? Because if I'm established, I'm going to want a woman that's going to bring something to the table as well. I'm not just looking for someone that's going to be like a daughter that I'm taking care of. Like if I'm raising my daughter, then I'm funding my daughter, right? But if you're like a 25-year-old woman who's not bringing anything, like I shouldn't be raising a child. I should be having a woman, a wife. So I would expect her to bring something to the table as well if I'm bringing something to the table. So like if you flip what she's saying and think of it from a male perspective, imagine just flip what she said, right? And a man starts saying that about a woman. I think we would have a lot more comments about, oh, the man is this, the man is that, So I just want to be fair, you know what I mean? So we're not just going to come off as misogynistic and things like that.
Right.
So how do you feel if you were to flip that, or think of it from a guy's perspective to think, what would the woman bring to the table as well?
Let me add something to that, though, because you know how we're always saying, okay, feminists, women in general, they want equality as a man, right?
Yeah.
But she's kind of like a throwback, if you think about it that way. She wants the man, which all of us are kind of thinking about, to take care of the woman and provide security and protection, which is not a bad thing. No. The man's playing the traditional man role. Is that how you kind of see it, Cash? The man playing the traditional man role and the woman just playing the traditional woman role. So if we provide you funds, like she's saying funds, not fun, she should be providing womanly stuff.
But wouldn't that go back to the traditional man role as well, where
but isn't that what we want?
Right. But would you be allowed to be controlling or tell the person what to do? Because that was the traditional man role back in the day, when people look at it that way as well, right? So if she wants a traditional man role, you can't just take the money and not take everything else. You know what I mean? You can't just pick and choose how it comes.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, let's say someone comes from a single home where they haven't got that life, and they've chose someone to be their husband or their partner after 25. Obviously, you're not going to choose somebody that's lower than yourself if you want to establish and be in a better home than what you didn't have. Like, say if you grew up in a shack, basically, right? I guess this is just running off topic, but basically, you'll look for someone who you could learn from, someone who can help you in the long run, and maybe you can help them in the long run. Because I need your help because I can't do it, so I'll probably date somebody that perhaps is able to help me, like kind of thing. I feel like some women look at it that way. Just saying.
Great. Somebody to help you or someone to do it for you. Right? Because we could help is like we go 50-50 on it.
Right.
Or do it for me is you go 90 and I go 10.
Right.
And that's it. Or not even 10. You go 100 and I just basically kind of feed off of your fruit, what you provide, right? So I think I understand where you're coming from, where, yeah, if you come from a single home, you generally would want to pair yourself with somebody that's like-minded of, you know, we want to have a solid foundation, solid marriage, solid relationship and everything else. But we could build this together, or from a woman's point of view is I can have you build it and I'm just going to enjoy what you provide, basically, right? So
some men are okay with that though.
Right.
Some are.
And it's usually it's usually the ones that are the top 10. What they like to say, right? The top 10. I got the money, you bring the box.
But you reap what you sow, though, right? As a woman, if you're okay with that, if the man is okay with it, you have to understand eventually if he's running the relationship, he's running it so he can also move on.
Yeah.
Because he is in control, right? You're bringing nothing to the table. Like you said, if you're bringing 10%, what stops him from moving on to someone like 5 years down the road who's like 5 years younger than you?
Yeah.
Because he's in it for that reason. True. So that's why I say, like, if you're an independent woman, I don't understand the logic behind it, because you're putting yourself in a situation where you are just giving up control of the relationship. Now you're always wondering, is he cheating? Is he going to find someone younger? Did I put on too much weight? Like everything, all your insecurities are going to come out because you are in it for the wrong reasons.
True.
He doesn't have that love connection with you. When a man loves you, he's going to stick with you. But if you're using him for his money, he's going to move on.
But I don't think she mentioned anything about love.
I know. And that's the problem.
Maybe there's no problem with that, though. She's not looking for love.
I think it's because this generation is just different. That's how I look at it. I feel like people are more so focused on the material things versus saving. And I think that's where she's basically trying to educate people. That's after you're over 25, just stop with the fun and start with the funds. Dating someone that's established, have their shit together, basically.
Yeah, but I think it's always been like that. I think now we just see it because we have social media. But think of it like even going back to like the 50s and 60s and stuff, right? It was, the wife would stay home, husband go to work, do what he got to do to provide. But typically those individuals and the man's going to work and providing, they would have the big house or they have a big property with a farm or whatever. So there's always, it's just we're seeing it now on social media and it's almost glorified in a sense because you see the girls walking with the Chanel bag. Oh, you have a Coach bag? I got a Chanel bag. And my man provide this and this and that. But there's something you mentioned, Jace, that I want to kind of circle back to. You mentioned how some men accept that role, that lifestyle. I don't think all men are so quick to accept it, though. I think some men, deep inside of them, they want that idea of you provide what you provide, I provide what I provide, and we meet halfway.
Yeah.
But I think it's also that idea of, look, I leave you, I got to start over. If we're married and you just kick back and I'm working, you know how divorce is. It's a long, drawn-out process.
So what I mentioned that, I use an example of Jeff Bezos. So, for example, he wanted that with his first marriage.
Right.
He got that. He met him halfway. Even Bill Gates did.
Yeah.
Divorce, right? He got his woman to help him build an empire.
Right.
And now somehow years and whatever, they want different things now.
Yeah.
It's the whatever she's providing is not what I want now.
Yeah.
I want Jeff Bezos' case. I want someone younger. I want someone to have fun with now.
Yeah.
But I'll be that guy who will fund our lifestyle. And that's where I contradict you in saying not all men want that. And maybe the correction to it is once men experience that and they got that, then maybe they can look at, okay, I've experienced it. It was great for the time, but now that I'm this man, I'm actually just want to have fun, have someone young beside me until the end of my days.
True.
So I think you're right on that part, but reason I go back to what the girl was saying, right? She's saying that that's a good thing for women to look for that. Now, the girl that's having fun is going to be great with Jeff Bezos for 2-3 years, and then. So it's not Jeff Bezos that's the problem. He's going to live the life he wants.
He'll find someone else. He's moved on.
But if you're the woman, you don't want to like waste 2-3 years. Yes, it'll be 2-3 great years.
Yeah.
He's going to take you to do everything. But he's going to move on. Like he's not staying with you. There's 0% chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you've put, let's say you're 25 and you've wasted 3 years. Now you're 28. You're older.
Yeah.
Now when he leaves you, which we can say he will, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've now put yourself back badly because now you got to look for somebody who's going to do that. You're not going to find someone with that lifestyle to give you that again. You're older. You're not as, so I think her thinking is very wrong because it gives the wrong idea to women.
It's bad for women because
very bad.
It's creating competition because as she gets older, like you said, younger women will come in, listen to her message and try to get that and take it away. And it'll be like a first in, first out.
Right.
Yeah. For the man, it's great. Like,
exactly.
If that's the man's, that's what he wants, he's fine. He's gonna live his whole life being able to do that. He's 79 with a 30-year-old wife. You know what I mean?
I know you wanted to chime in there. I saw you.
Someone said that if you're dating for funds, then the men you'll attract are those who objectify women. Very superficial space, it's empty and lonely, and you might just get replaced by someone younger than you.
Sounds like exactly what I was just saying.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of women agree with this lady. Like, they're so on it that, yes, you should date for funds and not fun.
Right. But that's great that there's a lot of women and maybe a lot of men that also agree with that and say, I support her on that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my vision as well, right? But again, I think there's still a divide or a division between, okay, you either get it on your own, you build whatever you got to build on your own, you support yourself, you're independent and you stand on that, or you stand on the side of, no, the man's got to give me money. He's got to support me. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. So it's great and all that we have this woman coming up and saying X, Y, and Z. But at what point do you find that common and medium ground? So, for example, if she's saying, okay, great, no, funds, I want the funds, right? At what point when the man decides to stop giving her funds, because at some point, hey, money could run dry.
Yeah.
You could get that promotion, he gets demoted, that $100,000 yearly salary might turn into 80, let's just say, for whatever reason. Something comes up, you got to sell the house, you got to sell the car, whatever it may be. At what point does the woman make her own decision and jump and say, well, you know what? I'm out of this piece. And what does she jump towards? Another man that is going to provide that same lifestyle, or like does that mentality stay forever for a woman? I don't know. I'm just asking because I don't know.
Does it stay forever for a woman once you make that switch?
No, I don't think so. I think for some women they would glad for the help. For people who wasn't so blessed to have everything in life and they got a boost from their partner or whoever they're dating, to be established, I think eventually. But like, I want to flip this. What if you have a daughter and you've raised her with everything she wants, and you tell her every day, I want you to date somebody that will make you happy and provide everything for you when I'm not around. And then this is the mentality that she have growing up. And obviously she passed 25. She's like, you know what? I have this mindset of dating someone who is, my dad always provide for me. So I need to date someone who provides for me, not just mentally, but financially.
I would raise my daughter I would try to provide for her so she doesn't have to put herself in a position where she has to depend on a man. Right. So, and I would educate her to never have to depend on a man, to put herself in a financial position where she can choose who she wants to be with. I don't want her to have to depend on another man. So personally, because just how you could tell the way my views are on this topic, I think women should be able to figure out, just like men have to figure out how to be financially independent, women should also be figuring out how to be financially independent, because at the end of the day, if you're depending on somebody else, you're gonna get older and you're gonna get left behind. So from the very beginning, I teach my daughter that.
I kind of agree with you, and I kind of don't, because I feel that kind of raises independent woman thinking. So I feel like, yes, you should understand finances. You should understand how to manage money, but also know too that is a partnership. It's not. Yeah. I've trained you so well that you don't have the attitude of going out there and saying, "I don't need a man."
Yes, I don't want you to mistake what I'm.
But how do you do that though? Because you don't want them to get an idea of, I can be my father. That's basically what they are. Yeah. Independent woman wants to be a model of a strong father.
What you said is I agree with as well. That I would want them to learn about a partnership. I just don't want them to learn about being dependent of someone else. So that's what I meant by
I think the dependence is okay, because I think it's what we're missing in marriage today, is the dependent of each other. Like I do believe that a woman should look to her man in some cases for guidance for certain things.
Yeah, that's different. I find that to be different. For me personally, I think like guidance and things like that you both will depend on each other. So in a successful partnership, I would find that I would grow from learning from her, because there's things that maybe I lack that she could bring to the table that will make me better, and then vice versa. Things that I'm good at that she can learn from me to make. And that's a true partnership to me. It's just on the money side, I'm just not on the dependent thing, because that will leave you out in the cold eventually, because if something happens, you put all of your chips and, going back to gambling, you put it all on black and it's red. Like that's it. You're playing roulette.
No, and it's so true. But I just want to say something about the daughter part, right? Raising a daughter, but also too, you raise your daughter, right? And let's say it's a family, so mom and dad. But if you raise your daughter providing her everything, that everything is not coming from the man. It's coming from both mom and dad. So when she goes out there, she's going to be looking to pair herself with someone that is like-minded, of raising a family together. Right. Versus if I was let's say if I was a single dad and raising my daughter, then her views might be a little bit different. But if she's coming from both parent home and both mom and dad are working, paying bills,
a regular family,
right? Yeah. Regular family. She's gonna look for that as well, right? So, and another thing, Cash, I think you're always conflating the two of helping your partner versus like actually funding your partner. Because here's the thing. When you're funding, that's like every month I'm giving you $500 kind of thing. Go do your nails, go do your hair, go do whatever. But if I'm helping you, that could be like, I don't know. Hey, you know what? You know, she wants to buy a car. Okay, great. You know what? You could buy it on your own, but I'll go halves with you on the car. Or, I'll buy you the car, right? I think that's reasonable. But if I'm having to buy you the car, buy you the purses, buy the clothes, I'm paying for your girls' trips. I'm doing all these things where I'm basically providing you money, that's funding. But helping is like, every now and then, hey, you know what?
Could be motivating too.
There you
go. Or it
go.
could be changing your mindset to help you grow. So,
right.
It's not always financial.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That moral support.
Yeah. So would you, asked us the question about raising a daughter, how would you want to be raised? Do you think you would want to be raised in that way, that you know how to manage your money, you know how to go get your own stuff, you don't have to be dependent on anyone?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Well, I was once told that, obviously before I had a boyfriend or whatever the case may be, because I was raised in a single family home, and a bit of poverty, you could say. They would say, oh, when you find someone that can make you happy, not just happy, but also somebody that has money, basically, that can make your life a little bit more improving.
Right.
So you don't remain the way you are. And actually starting to be independent and all of that, I learned the importance of going half and half. Like, I don't believe in using people or just depending on someone for their money, because just as how I work hard, they work hard for their money.
Right.
So I know that a lot of parents look forward for their kids to be with somebody that's good and have good education and that's working good money and things like that. And nothing is wrong with that, but at the same time, I think it should go half and half. You shouldn't, and as Jordan said, that you should, if you need the help, you should be able to lean on your partner for help.
But it's also too how if we started for the clean slate, I think we all agree. But like, everyone comes from different backgrounds. So like, I would agree if I were back home, which happens a lot, you want someone to come from overseas to marry you, your family or your daughter or your son, and take them over there for a better life, right?
Better life.
And sometimes it's not about love. It's about, can you financially take care of my daughter?
But
you know what I mean?
But my question is it a better life? Because they have the upper hand.
Right.
So everything that they want, they're expecting from you. So I'm funding you. I brought you here. Whatever, they're going to be able to be in control.
Yeah.
So is it a better life is how I look at it. You know what I mean?
But people back home.
Some women look at it. People back home.
I would think it's a better life
Yeah.
because I'm in Guyana. I'm seeing stuff on TV.
Yeah.
I only know what I know. So I really do think if you're in that situation, the better life is coming to Canada or the US.
So you come here and then he makes you do all the cooking. He makes you do all the cleaning. He sits on the couch.
That's what happens.
He treats you like a princess. He can buy you the purse. He can do your nails. He can do your hair. He can take care of you.
He could cut you off.
Yeah.
He could cut you out.
But that's the thing. But some men wouldn't mind doing those stuff.
They
always have this saying of, I want to treat my girl like a princess. I want to give her the life that she never had before, what her parents never given her when she was
I'm kind of on your side, because put yourself in that father in Guyana's mindset.
Yep.
Right? They don't know much
Yeah.
to life. So their thinking is very simple. I'm not saying simple is bad. I'm just saying very cut and dry, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You can take my daughter over there. Maybe one day we can come visit. They'll have kids. The grandchildren will grow up in a better place than what we grew up in.
It's interesting.
Like
it's interesting discussion because I feel JR and I are on the same page on it, and Cash and Jace is on the same page.
I get that. My whole point is you now give the man the power to control the woman. And great, you support her financially. She doesn't have to work, but you have her locked in the house, cooking, cleaning, doing everything.
Who says that's the situation 100% of the time?
But
that's not always.
You see the proof of the.
And what if she's comfortable in being a housewife too?
Exactly. These
what
women.
Or what if she has no choice though?
These women back home are raised that way to take care of the house, to sweep, to clean.
The man isn't doing it for love. He doesn't particularly loves her. He likes that he has food when he comes in. He likes that she does whatever he wants.
And he knows coming over here, that's the deal. You're getting a housewife.
But exactly. So I always say, for the man's perspective, it's fine. But is the woman okay knowing for the next 50 years or whatever it is, this is gonna be your role. He's not gonna love you,
and that's okay.
You're gonna, if it's okay with
that's
her.
why I'm saying in those situations, these women are not thinking about themselves personally. That it's me. I'm thinking about my kids. I'm thinking about my family. But I'm doing the sacrifice to make my next generation better.
I think what JR and I are thinking.
You guys are focused on an individual.
No, but I think what we're thinking is, it's great you're here. However, because he has all the control now, he can make that decision to be like, I'm out. And then what happens to you though? Because now,
but that's typical life. Divorce rates are 50%. Whether you're rich, whether you're not. Everyone. I obviously don't condone if someone's abusing my daughter or treating her bad. You shouldn't stay there. Come back to Guyana. We'll figure out another plan. But I think that's not always the case where the guy's going to be controlling. Yes, he might have his tendencies of like, don't go out here. We can't go to dinner until I'm home. Or you have to cook and make sure food's ready when I'm home. There's certain things where there's a negotiation.
And Jace, since you talk about that, it's like, it's an Indian tradition thing with men who believe that, like I've talked to this gentleman before and he said to me, he said, no, my wife is not working. I don't need her to work because I'm the man and I will work. I do not need my wife to go out there to work. I want her to stay home and take care of things at home. Yeah. And that's the Indian culture of things where they're comfortable in having their wife at home. And it's the same practice in Trinidad, in Guyana. West Indian culture, they do that. They prefer their wife to be at home. Why? Because also too, they don't want other men to take advantage of their wife.
And I think the wife in some cases prefer that.
Yeah, and some wives
sounds controlling to me.
It does. Or what if that's
not?
What if they're just programmed to think that that's the life I have to live?
But it's not controlling. That's where I think we're thinking. If the wife is okay with that, it's not controlling.
But what I think,
like some women legitly want to be home and be homemakers and take care of the kids.
No, and it's nothing wrong with that.
That is not controlling.
However, but on the flip side, like because he's wanting you to do this and you want to do this, if something were to happen, you have nothing. You have no life skills, nothing to fall back on.
I mean,
he's gonna be fine. You know what I mean? He's gonna be fine. He'll move on, but you only have the life skills of cooking, cleaning. You don't know how to pay bills, perhaps. You don't know how to do anything else because you haven't been, that wasn't your role. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he's got you stuck at down here while he's always up here. Mm-hmm. So
I see your case, but I think that's just how life has been.
Yeah.
That is the role of the traditional woman and the traditional man.
Your husband works for the family. He gives you money to run the house. You pay the bills. You take care of the kids. You ensure my kids are well taken care of. You cook. You clean. I'm okay with staying at home.
If a woman does her role, the guy is an idiot in that sense. Yeah, the guy's better off, but that is a selfish man for doing that and putting you out there. Mother of my kids, you took care of our house. I'm growing financially. All of a sudden, I can just drop you. That's a selfish man. That's an idiot.
But I also believe, too, why men usually do that is because they feel that they're the superior of the home, so they don't want their wife to be as in competition with them. Some situation, not all.
I think those are insecure men.
Some men get intimidated, like they feel intimidated when their wife is basically going out there working. And what if she works more money? What if she starts picking up this dude that has more money because she's working that amount of money? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that's insecure. Like you should be confident in yourself. Yep. I think this is a fun discussion. I really enjoy it. Yeah. Because it's just like
so many different scenarios. Yeah. It's like it's never ending. There's not a right
or wrong answer.
Like controlling to some person is not controlling to the other because it's just the way how you think and what you value, right?
Yeah.
A lot of women don't value going out to going work. They want to be taken care of. Right. And they want to be, this is my home.
Yeah.
Like this is my house, but without the woman, it's not a home.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right? And some guys actually look at it that way. And a lot of women, trash women, that's housewives, at home, stay-at-home mom, whatever the case may be.
Without those moms, those are the best moms in the world. The ones that actually the homemakers.
No, it's true. But I think also, too, we have to understand the root of where all that started. It was women didn't have rights.
Right.
They couldn't vote, couldn't go to work, couldn't even go to the store or anything. So that mentality of, no, women's got to stay home, man's going to provide. It's almost like backwards mentality, though.
Yeah.
Because once upon a time, that was the reality of women had to face, period. There was no, I want to be independent. No, it's you're staying home, you're doing this, you're doing that.
Right.
So,
but we can also go down back to the core and even go further than that.
Right.
How we're genetically built.
But it's
men
a
were
different world.
built to do work.
Right.
Men were physically, we are stronger.
But it's a different world now, though, that we live in.
But see, biology, like mentally, biology, we're all built that way.
And I think that's where
we're the hunter-gatherers, the
Mm-hmm.
protectors.
I think that's where JR and I are thinking, because it's almost like the old ways where you didn't have those rights, and now because it's a lot different, you want to make sure if something were to go wrong and you have to be by yourself, you have the skills to take care of yourself. Just like if I by myself, I want to make sure I have the skills to take care of myself as a man, even as well. So I need to learn how to cook. I need to know how to do all these things as well, because if I don't have no one to do it for me, how am I going to do it? So I think vice versa, the women should also have the same skills. You should know how to do certain things. You should know how to be independent, because once you have that dependence, you're put yourself in a position where you can be very screwed.
That's the whole thing about religion. That's the whole thing about family. I think we just, at the end of the day, it's however you believe. However, your home is your home to control, right? It's a negotiation between your husband and your wife, how you do that. And no one can say what's right or wrong. But that's I think the grand scheme of things is the concept of family is going away. That's the bigger issue. That's true. At the end of the day, who works, who provides, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's the concept of family and sticking together and making it.
Well, if you're saying what she said, instead of funds, that there is no family she's away.
Totally
you know what I mean?
She's totally wrong. You're looking for
the wrong mentality right off the bat. There's no family in looking for money.
No.
But what if I have a question. What if you guys are not the breadwinner of the house, but your wife or your partner is? Like, how does that make you feel as a man?
I feel great. Like, I don't care personally if I'm the breadwinner or she's the breadwinner. If we're bringing something to the relationship and the partnership together, where we're both growing, we're both able to contribute to the relationship, then I don't care who's bringing more money. It could be me, it could be her. We're both in it for the right reasons. We're both contributing, and we're both growing, so communicating, growing, being successful together. I think that's what makes a strong relationship for both parties.
So that will make you feel less of a man, because your partner is like the successful person going out there, getting on the grind, breadwinner for your home, you taking care of the kids. Maybe you're doing some cooking, cleaning, whatever the case may be.
I don't care.
You're completely okay with not working as a man if your wife is.
I didn't say I wouldn't work. Even if she was the breadwinner, if I'm doing something to contribute, if I wasn't working and she doing that, I'd be okay. It doesn't change the dynamic of the relationship, because you're both contributing, but I'd still want to make myself valuable. Like, I wouldn't just sit at home doing nothing, just being, because like I said, this is a good example of it being flipped. Because if now something were to go wrong and she decides to leave, what am I going to leave with? Like, what skills do I have? So I would try to have something to contribute to the relationship as well. So at least I'm growing, because I have to be able to survive on my own if that were to come to that.
Right.
Exactly.
Jace, you have any take on that?
It's a little harder for me, because I don't know if I'm in that situation how I would feel.
Would that make you feel less of a breadwinner of your?
I don't know.
Do you think you'll be taken advantage of because your partner is basically the breadwinner? Because I feel like it's a flip side of things too. Because
there's a bit of pride in.
There you go.
In knowing that you're the man and you're taking care of things. So I don't know. I think, like Sam, I won't have a problem.
Yeah.
But if I'm really in that situation, I don't know how I would feel. I think I might feel some type of way, but I think I eventually will get over it. But for me, that I feel my value is being the man, being the provider, being the protector. I think if I lost some of that, I might feel less of a valuable I don't know.
Yeah. It'll make you feel less of a man of the house, basically.
Yeah. I think I would feel some type of way, but I think I could somehow figure out in my mind to provide value in other ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly,
But for me, I think it will be a bit tougher
Okay.
to get over that.
Okay, that makes sense.
What about you,
JR?
I don't think I would have a problem with it, and I think you mentioned it best, is if your partner is making or bringing in more than you, you will find other ways to add value. But I think for me, it'll come naturally, right? Like, for example, hey, you know what? You're working long hours, but you're bringing in X, Y, and Z. All right, well, I'll make sure I'll take care of things at home when I finish work. You come home to a hot meal, whatever the case may be. Laundry's done, this and that, whatever. Okay, you take care of this, I'll take care of this, and find some sort of common ground there. But I don't think, yes, there is ego that does play into it, but you have to look at the bigger picture.
You are a man too, right? Like you do have. That's why I'm saying it's not that easy as I think you think it'll be.
But at the same time, I gotta look at the reality of today's world, which is women are CEOs, women are bosses, women are on a whole different level. I think if this was maybe back in the 70s, 80s, I think then I would feel a little bit more entitled to think, no, this can't be. She can't make more than me. But I think in today's world where women run the world, women dominate things, I just have to accept that. No, so it's true.
Put yourself in a situation. Let's say you're approached by a strong woman who's like a CEO of a company. Would you not want to be with her because she, would be?
I would kind of know ahead of time she won't have time for me, so I wouldn't even.
He's prioritizing.
I wouldn't throw anything out. Like I would just be like, let's see how this goes. Like I wouldn't be intimidated by her.
Realistic. You won't have that. Like if what you're looking for in a relationship, that CEO type of woman, it's probably not going to give you what you need.
But my whole thing is like the fun part of things when you guys answer that question. Like as a man, like God forbid something happened to your partner and she's the breadwinner of the house or the home. You have kids and it's like, shoot, that's her hardworking money went out there and basically I'm getting all of her savings and I didn't even wouldn't you feel some sort of guilt? Like,
should the
woman
house
feel that
way
to me? The money, everything that's in the bank account belongs to me as a person. Hence, I'm home.
Not really.
I'm not the breadwinner.
I look at it the same way.
That's why I feel it's hard for me.
It's so hard.
Because I look at it in my personal relationship. My money is our money.
Right.
And I know females. I don't want to generalize. My money is my money. So that's why if it was flipped, I feel like if I didn't bring in enough financially, I think I would be made to feel guilty. And maybe that's a personal thing.
Yes.
Why don't I? Because my money's my money. Your money is
our money.
Our money.
So. I love my own money kind of thing.
No, it should be our
should
money is
find
our
out.
money.
Quit my job and find out what happens.
See what happens.
I'm just curious as to Sammy, what do you think about would you feel some sort of guilt like your partner is the breadwinner of the home and all her money's in the saving, God forbid something happened to her, she passed away, you're getting all of that money for yourself and you didn't even work. Like put it in a woman's perspective.
Oh,
she didn't went
work.
out.
Trust me, Sam put in the work.
She didn't work. She's a housewife. She takes care of the
money.
home. Exactly.
Every
But that's
Friday
the thing. But that's the thing. Now she's getting to
Saturday morning.
she's getting to enjoy your money. But like from a man's perspective, like you also, God forbid your partner passed away.
Yeah.
All that money now belongs to you. Wouldn't you feel some sort of guilt? I feel like I would feel some sort of guilt.
I wouldn't.
I didn't go out there 6:00 in the morning driving, gotta go through snow and everything.
But would you feel a different way in if the man had the money and he passed away and it's yours? How would you feel as a woman?
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I was gonna get to because it's easy. With these situations, I don't look at it man is a man, woman is a woman. Because if you flip it, it's the same situation. True. Like, you know what I mean? So I try not to put the gender roles into it.
But there is a different answer. I'm seeing that. Like, how would you feel though?
Obviously, I would
you would
feel
be
a bit
more
of guilt.
accepting. Would you?
Yes, in a sense. it's like, yeah, I mean,
he took care of me.
Yeah,
And this is
but
what he
like,
would have wanted.
For some women, they think being a housewife is so much more harder than a working mom, because taking care of kids and the home
It's
and getting
definitely a
everything
lot of
organized,
work.
it's so much more harder. So yes, even if my partner passed away and I'm a housewife, I take care of the home, I will feel like, yes, I deserve the money, because obviously, yes, it's to take care of my home, my family.
When there's kids there, you would think deserving the money, it makes more sense.
Yes, but if there's no kids,
kids,
like,
then,
I don't know how that feels like for
like,
women
should
who
some
don't
of her
have
money
kids.
go back to her family?
It's like, yeah, oh shoot, like this money belongs to me. You cry,
Sam
whatever.
only
kids
deserve like 30%
exactly.
of that.
Yeah.
But also too, if that's the case, like, you have to appoint a beneficiary,
That's
or when
what I
you're
was gonna
creating
say.
your will. So if the man is
her
creating
choice,
the will,
right?
right, you're making that conscious decision,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure you would have that conversation with your partner.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they already know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen if they pass, or whatever the case may be. It's not like it's gonna be like surprise, like, oh shoot, oh, I get all this money.
No.
What if you find out your beneficiary is your wife, but your wife beneficiary is not you?
It would hurt.
Oh boy,
It's her family.
Oh, that'll hurt.
It would
That's,
hurt.
when you
Right?
mean her family, you mean like extended, like
Not extended.
Like parents
What do you mean?
or something.
Like
Let's
immediate
say-
like their
family,
kids,
siblings.
like kids
Her
or
siblings.
Her
okay,
siblings.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Question: Are there kids?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not even
Oh, that's
husband
not good at all.
It's not
even before
husband
kids.
and
Even, let's just
Oh,
say
just husband,
say
wife.
before kids.
Yeah.
okay. No, that wouldn't go well,
Yeah.
because.
And I couldn't tell her because she
Yeah.
passed away. So that would really suck. Yeah.
But wait, you find out
After.
the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys are married too?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
She would hear
I feel like before.
cuss words.
That's a
Yeah.
huge problem, because
Yeah.
if we have a house together, right? If we have, all these other liabilities together, now I'm turned into a widow, or what's
That's
the
why
version of
I'm getting back to your money's the family money.
right?
Her money's her money.
I think that's the wrong mentality.
Yeah.
So you have to have like proper communication,
Yeah.
and you have to be on the same page, because
Mm,
if she's saying her money is her money,
yeah.
then there's something that you guys need to deal with in that case, because
Mhm.
she doesn't see you as important enough, probably. I don't know. It's a weird
Or-
dynamic, but your money is her money, so you're okay to make money for her,
Yeah.
but you're not okay to share. I think that's something that you probably have to work on for
Yeah.
sure, because there is something lost in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
How would you feel flipping it to your spouse? You put your spouse as your beneficiary. Your spouse puts the
I wouldn't
Their
feel.
sibling.
I wouldn't feel good.
right.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah,
feel good.
it's-
Feel
that's
betrayed.
tough. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
feel. I'll feel bad.
Really, really tough. And I think the fact.
But
Mhm.
what if you mentioned sibling? But what if they don't have sibling, but they put it in their mom or their dad's as a beneficiary?
That would be even more.
That's even
strange.
worse.
Yeah,
How?
because their parents are much older.
They're older, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously, you don't expect
Your
the parents to outlive
you.
the child.
Yeah.
True. You have a mom. Wouldn't you want her to be like somewhat? Let's just say, God forbid, we don't know when we're gonna pass away, but God forbid you passed away earlier than your mom. Like, at least you would want something to go to her while she's alive, right? It's a 50-50, right?
I think
No.
my wife or my spouse would help
There
if my
you
mom
go.
was struggling and I was gone. Would be able to
Yeah.
help their mom.
help my
Yeah.
mom
because
say
of
my
the
mom's
communication
Oh,
you
wow.
At least I
have
hope.
had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they know your relationship with your mom. They would have.
Right.
They would know all that too. Like it's with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At least we hope they would
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Sammy, you think so too?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree with
like
that.
you should, especially if
If
you
that
have
don't
kids.
happen though, Sam's gonna check that
Yeah.
to make sure my mom's okay.
Yeah.
No, I
Exactly.
think that's so
Give
true.
him the
It's so
right.
yeah.
valid.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think like you should, especially if you have a spouse, you should both be on the same
Yeah.
page with like the money situation.
Right.
one person can't have it one way and the other person's like, no. Like, no,
your mom wouldn't divorce you, but your partner will one day.
Yep.
One day got
nothing
what they
like
want.
a mother's love.
Yeah.
Right. But
right?
like
and that's why I brought it up. Or a father, right? And that's why I brought it up, because like since you're on that thing of, you know, who puts who in or as a beneficiary, whatever the case may be, it's important, because you don't know, like your partner's waiting for that moment of them being your beneficiary to just, you know, grab and go whenever they can, since if they know that you're an established person. But for your mom or your dad, yes, they're older, but I feel like I just don't know.
But if
you guys don't agree with me, but I feel like
if you make it and your parents pass away, then what happens to it? Gets left in limbo, and then the other person's gonna feel like you didn't trust them.
Yeah,
and they've probably showed you everything to trust them. Yeah, but you put it in someone who's much older. That's why you gotta have to really communicate. You gotta have to really trust your partner. Because if you don't trust your partner and you're putting in your parents' name, that's probably a red flag right away. You know what I mean? Because you should be trusting your partner, that you wouldn't be putting in your parents' name.
But I feel like not everybody is in that loyal position too. Some people just wait for the as tough. I said again.
Yeah. We can go on and on and on about this. Any closing thoughts on this guy? Because I know we can. We started with the funds.
We started with funds
and went every direction.
This is like I love to be a whole episode on its own. Yeah. But man, I guess closing thoughts for me is.
Let's get back to the funds versus the fun.
The funds. Look, if you're a woman and that's your expectation, if you want funds, then communicate that to your potential partner, and if they agree with that, then go live happily ever after, right? And if you're a man that's looking for a woman where you want to provide the funds, communicate that, go live happily ever after. But don't do it for, don't do it for the sake of just getting in bed and, it's a little thing, and then you realize, oh shoot, I can't support this lifestyle anymore. If you're going to stand on it from now until the end of time. So that's it for me.
My closing thoughts are, if you're going to look for funds, you reap what you sow. So when shit hits the fan and he's going to move on, you're looking for funds, better find some next man who got funds, because you got what you wanted. You know what I mean? So he's got what he wanted, and hey, you reap what you sow. It's your decision.
Oh, yeah.
Cash, any closing thoughts on it?
I'm in with you guys, but then, I got my other side of things. But yeah, I'm in with you guys.
Show me the money. She said,
I'm in with you guys.
The funds.
Either way, if you date for funds or not, you still get heartbroken. Like, it's out there. Oh, that's how I look at it. People betray you regardless of if you're dating for funds.
Wait. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Basically.
Right? I like how that shirt looks.
Basically.
Thank you. There you go.
Basically. It's really rough.
Yeah.
Like, no matter if you try, if you date the person for funds, and whether or not that's not your intention, you still get cheated on, you still get heartbroken. Like, so there's some sort of pain that comes with it, regardless. That's how I look at it.
And it's always a man that cheats, eh? It's always a man that's breaking the girl's heart, right?
Most of the times.
Really?
Need a more positive outlook.
Because man looks for sexual attractiveness versus women. Some of us, we just want a good person to treat us
women
right
don't
and be
emotionally
loyal.
Cheat, because emotionally cheat is very common. This guy provides me with. He listens to me.
Yeah, listen. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I don't even want to get into the men cheat more than women aspect. Cause
that's another pod.
We should do a statistic on that. See actually who.
All right, we'll bring the statistics out and we'll pod about this on one of the upcoming pods.
Yeah, man.
Sweet.
Yeah. But like, I think everything's a business decision.
It is.
Like, it's like 2 humps every $1,000 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
An example. If you want the funds, provide the humps.
Oh God.
Humps, not dumps. Dumps is the Dubai thing.
Yeah.
Laugh Kingz.